Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? I'm going to give you an update on the information that I found on the incident that occurred between the American Airlines flight and the Black Hawk. Okay. Now, this is the stuff that I'm going to give you is not in any kind of numerical order or any order at all, okay? It's what I found, and as I was finding it, I was putting everything, like writing everything down, saving pictures, saving videos, and things like that, okay? So nothing is in order, okay? This first thing, CNN allegedly had pre-written articles about the Washington crash hours online before the event, and lots of other people have the receipts. So here's the first one, okay, that I'm going to put up for you just to show you what I found. All right, so this first one, as you can see right here, this second one right here, it says FAA issues ground stop at Reagan National Airport after plane crashes into Potomac River. Okay. So there's that one. All right. Now we have this one. Okay. And there's one on the left and there's one on the right. All right. The one on the left says video appears to show passenger jet crash over Potomac River. And the one on the other side said FAA issues ground stop at Reagan National Airport after plane crashes in Potomac River. Okay, so you see that, right? All right. Now, our president posted this, and I put it up for you, okay, and I'll read it to you. And it says the airplane was on a perfect and routine line of approach to the airport. The helicopter was going straight at the airplane for an extended period of time. It is a clear night. The lights on the plane were blazing. Why didn't the helicopter go up or down or turn? Why didn't the control tower tell the helicopter what to do instead of asking if they saw the plane? This is a bad situation that looks like it should have been prevented. This is not good. So now here is a video of a statement from American Airlines CEO Robert Isom, I-S-O-M. And it has been released regarding the plane crash. And he is expressing the company's deepest condolences to the families and loved ones of those who have been affected.
Hello, everyone. I'm Robert Isom, the CEO of American Airlines. I want to brief you on a serious accident that occurred involving an American Eagle aircraft. The aircraft was operated by PSA Airlines, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of American Airlines. First and most importantly, I'd like to express our deep sorrow about these events. This is a difficult day for all of us at American Airlines, and our efforts now are focused entirely on the needs of our passengers, crew members, partners, first responders, along with their families and loved ones. I know that there are many questions, and at this early stage, I'll not be able to answer all of them, but I do want to share the information I have at this time. American Eagle Flight 5342, operated by PSA Airlines, a CRJ 700 aircraft traveling from Wichita, Kansas to Washington Reagan National Airport, has been involved in an accident near Washington, D.C. It appears to have collided with a military aircraft on approach. Flight 5342 was under the command of 4 crew members and carried 60 passengers for a total of 64 people on board. We are actively working with local, state, and federal authorities on emergency response efforts, and the American Airlines care team has been activated to assist our passengers and their families. We're cooperating fully with the National Transportation Safety Board in its investigation and will continue to provide all the information we can. Our cooperation is without pause, and we want to learn everything we can about today's events. That work will take time, but anything we can do now, we're doing. And right now, that means focusing on taking care of all passengers and crew involved, as well as their families. Members of our GO team will be on their way to Washington, D.C., and I'll be heading there shortly as well. We know that many people will be concerned for the welfare of their loved ones, and we've set up a special helpline friends and family can call at 1-800-679-8215. That's 1-800-679-8215. If you believe you've had friends or family on board American Eagle Flight 5342. We understand and appreciate that people are eager for information. Please know that we'll continue to share accurate and timely information as soon as we can, but anything we must report must be accurate. We owe that to everyone involved. Our team of highly trained professionals will be working around the clock to support our passengers, crew, and their families however we can, and we'll update you as soon as we can. Thank you.
And a community member wrote in, and he said, I just heard about the Army helicopter that collided with the American Airlines passenger jet. This is most likely a tragic accident. However, I have heard that our military has many members that come from other countries, some that are not our friends. I can't help but wonder if perhaps the pilot of the helicopter engaged in a deliberate act of terrorism. I don't know. I don't know. And I don't even want to think like that. You know, I really don't. Because I don't know if you guys are aware, but I have, you know, the pictures and stuff like that to prove it. There were kids on that airplane, man. Okay? And these weren't just your ordinary children either. These guys were like headed to like the Olympics type, you know? I mean, these were figure skaters. These were, I mean, just top notch, just awesome all around. You know, these kids were going somewhere. It just sucks. But I'll get more into that in a minute. All right. So here is a video of the air traffic control. It's a recording. And in the recording it says, we witnessed the whole thing if you need anything from us.
25, get the CRJ in flight. Pass 25, pass line is CRJ. American 472, Washington, 1 star, 32017.
Oh, did you see that?
Delta 32, sorry. I don't know if you caught earlier what happened, but there was a collision on the approach into 33. We're going to be shutting down operations for the indefinite future if you want to go back to the gate.
Yeah, we witnessed the whole thing. If you need the information from us.
So the transponder seemingly turned on over a specific area in which Google Earth has now blurred out. Now, something is very fishy with that. And I don't know why they would blur that out. Now, I'm aware that you can request to have your property blurred out, because I did that. And this may have been done prior to the crash, but chances are of this specific property in this exact location is really weird.
All right, everyone, welcome back. I'm sure you have heard about the Black Hawk and the American Airlines jet that crashed. I found some very weird information tying back to the Black Hawk, which is what you're seeing right here. Here's the squawk number 0125. This was labeled as PAT-25, which usually means someone important was on the helicopter. The media is saying different. Take that with a grain of salt. Anyway, this is exactly the point where the transponder of the Black Hawk turned on. So we are able to follow it from the second it turns on here. Here's part of its path. It kind of comes down this river, zigzags, and then eventually, as I'm sure many of you saw, it collides with that airplane right about here. But what's important here, and I want you to focus on this, is exactly where this transponder turned on, because this area is very significant, and I'm going to show you why right now. So the first thing I did, obviously, was go to Google Earth, and I found this exact area. And here it is right here. Here's Lawton Street. You can go back. This is also Lawton Street, and this is part of Lawton Street as well. Now look exactly where this thing turns on. Right here in between this home and this home. Now I'm going to go right to this spot closest to the street right here. Here we go. Switch over to Google Earth, we'll zoom down, and this house is right here. The transponder turned on right here above these trees, and here is the kicker, my friends. When you go on Google Earth, usually you see most of the houses on Street View. The only house blurred out is this one. Right here, take a look at this. We're going to turn around this way, gone. You cannot see this house from any angle on Google Earth. Now, this is something you can call Google Earth and request if you have issues, privacy concerns. You can have this done. But I mean, come on, what are the chances of this? This is exactly where that helicopter transponder turned on and the only spot we can start following the chopper. So let's exit out of here. Once again, here is that house with the white driveway. This is the house that's blurred out. The transponder turned on right here over these trees. Now, I'm still trying to figure out what to make of this, but I went to GRATSCH, and it's pretty interesting what GRATSCH responded. All right, here we go. If the flight data indicates that the Black Hawk's helicopter transponder went on directly over 6907 Lawton Street, McLean, Virginia, and this is the only house blurred out in that area, several points can be considered. Obviously, coincidence or connection. The coincidence of the transponder activating directly over a blurred house could be significant, but without specific details or official reports linking the two events will remain speculative. Obviously, it's going to remain that way. They are saying this was a training exercise. I still believe there is way more to this. Now, just take a look at this one real quick. It says flight data and timing. If the transponder data aligns with the moment of the crash or shortly before, this could be a key piece of information for investigators. However, the activation of a transponder over a particular point doesn't inherently imply a direct cause or effect with the crash unless further evidence supports this. Now, obviously, I do believe that as well. This could be a total coincidence, but I just find it very, very weird how the one house blurred out in this entire freaking town is the one house this transponder turned on over. And now if we can catch some of this flight, let's go ahead and look at it. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, but here we go. And there's the crash there. So this thing was zigzagging all over the place. And there were some instances where this helicopter was almost going towards other airplanes before it finally made contact with the American Airlines jet. And this is the last frame we have where they make contact and fall into the river. I don't know, everybody. This is just very strange. And also, I broke this yesterday that the Doomsday plane left Omaha right after the crash and flew directly to Washington, D.C. This plane is only used for like very specific things, very high military stuff, transporting important people like the president, which then in that case would be called Air Force One. But this thing literally beelined from Omaha, Nebraska, all the way to the site of the crash, looped around and then landed at Joint Base Andrews. Here's another shot of it. This is when it came in towards Washington, looped around the area of the crash, and then it's going to circle and go right to Andrews right here. Now, for those of you that know what this plane is for, you already know that this is super rare. I talked to multiple members of the military, active and retired, who said that this is a key part of this story. They didn't say why or what, but they said if this thing's in the area after a crash like that, something very important happened that we probably don't know about. All right, my friends, I wanted to try to keep this short so we could digest this information in shorter videos. I'll have much more info out throughout the day. Check out the X, Instagram, and TikTok channels, as well as YouTube, obviously, because as always, I can talk about certain things on certain sites and other things on others. All right, everyone, prayers to all involved. Please leave your thoughts down below.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I know that this world is run by the most evil, sadistic freakazoids you could possibly imagine, okay? And I think that there's maybe three options here, okay, with this story. Either it was a ritual, it was a distraction, okay, you guys know how I used to say shiny object all the time, okay, or there was someone on that plane that they didn't want on this earth anymore. This is definitely not an accident, and I'm not the only one to say it.
So unfortunately, we have satanic, power-hungry, money-hungry freaks that run our government. And because of this, we need to be questioning everything. In case you have not heard, last night, a military Black Hawk helicopter collided mid-air over DC with an American Airlines jet, unfortunately killing everybody on board. Now, within an hour of this story breaking, there were already major questions being raised, and for good reason. I want to look at some of the weird things that surround this event, and we'll start by looking at the actual video itself. Here's the helicopter. Doesn't even look like they tried to get out of the way. The next odd thing with this story is CNN actually reported on it hours before the event actually happened. Kind of reminds me of something that happened in 2001, but we're not allowed to talk about that. Now, for TikTok purposes, I'm going to say that this is just a coincidence, but it's interesting nonetheless that just a few months ago, Lockheed Martin was reporting that they could remotely control Black Hawk helicopters.
The Army modernize Black Hawk to incorporate new technology, new capabilities to create the Black Hawk. And one critical technology of all these things is autonomy. And that brings me here today.
Are we really going to find this optimally piloted autonomous Black Hawk in Connecticut from 300 miles away right here in Washington, D.C.? And the answer is a resounding yes, we're going to.
We live in an age where aircraft can be remotely hijacked and used as missiles. We live in an age where a pilot's radio transmission can be fabricated. We live in an age where attacks can be disguised as accidents. Now, this is where it gets weird. So just a few days ago, on the 5th anniversary of Kobe's crash, the Eagles posted a helicopter. The Eagles then defeated the Washington Commanders to go to the Super Bowl. And this number was involved. If you know, you know. I do believe this is a very real possibility because we have Satanists running our world. And this is the stuff that they do. And if you watched my previous video, they don't care who gets in their way. We are nothingness. Our lives do not matter to them. We are just pawns in their chess game. Everybody knows it was deliberate. This is their way of telling us. But my question is it the previous reason or is it a distraction for something else going on? Because this is now happening and almost nobody is reporting on it.
So air traffic control, their audio is emerging, and I'm getting pieces of it. And this is moments before and after the Black Hawk helicopter crashed. So take a listen to this.
Did you see that?
472. American 3130, go around, turn left end 250, climb maintain 3000.
Okay, left heading 350, 3000, American 3130.
Lucy 5347, go around, climb maintain 3000, flight
3000,
Present
heading
heading, go around 3000, Blue Streak 5347.
Blackjack 3, can you return to base? What? Blackjack 3, proceed directly to Glebe. I need you to land. I need you to land immediately. Can you go to Dulles for a few minutes? Austin 7, proceed due westbound, contact Dulles Tower 120.1. Muscle 13, can you go to Baltimore?
So when I was talking about the kids that were on the flight, okay, there were at least 14 U.S. figure skating championship contestants that were on board flight 5342 when it collided with the Black Hawk. The following skaters and the coaches are some of those that were believed to have been on board of flight AA5342. Coach Jania Shishkova, Coach Vadim Nomov, Spencer Lane, Jinohan, Eddie Zhao, Everly Livingston, Lydia Livingston, Franco Aparicio, Coach Inna Valianskaya, Sean Kay, and Angela Yang. There were rumors that another skater by the name of Maxim Naumov, who was the son of Vadim Naumov and Gina Shishkova, was on the plane. He was not on flight 5342. He was on another flight that left before his parents' flight. So there's that. Yeah. So now that kid has to be without his mom and dad. But let's keep every one of these victims and their family members and their friends and the U.S. Figure Skating Championship in our thoughts and prayers, because these kids were going somewhere, man. They were going somewhere. All right, guys, I'm out of here, okay? I will see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fearless.